Very good morning, dear students. I welcome all of you to the today's session. And this session, we are going to start with a new chapter, that is chapter 5, Measures of Central Tendency. Here, we all know that in a statistics, mainly there are 5 steps. One is collection of data, organization of data, presentation, analysis and interpretation. Here in these 5 steps, this chapter is going to help for the understanding the first step, that is analysis of data. For the analysis of statistical data, we use the measures of central tendency. Got it now? Here, now we'll start the chapter by knowing the meaning of what is central tendency. Got it? Here, central tendency is also called as average. Central tendency we can also call it as a average. Then what do you mean by average or central tendency? Very simple. Central tendency is also called as average. And here, central tendency means central tendency refers to finding the single value that describes the characteristics or the features. We can say it as a feature also. Characteristics of entire data. Got it now? Here, the central tendency or average refers to finding the single value. Keep in our mind, finding a single value or one value which is that is going to describe the characteristics or the features of whole or entire data. That single value we will be call it as a average or a central tendency. I hope you have understood. Your central tendency or average means finding the single or specific value which helps to describe or explain the characteristics of a whole or entire data of that particular statistics study. And here, in order to find out the single value or an average, there are several statistical methods we have. But in the several statistical methods, mainly we are going to discuss the 3 statistical measures. What are the 3 statistical measures to find out average or central tendency means? First one, arithmetic mean. Second one, median. And third most important statistical tool to use to find out average is mode. Got it? There are several statistical measures in order to find out average or central tendency, but in that all, mainly we are going to use 3 statistical measures to find out the central tendency or average. What are that? First one, arithmetic mean. Second one, median. And third one, mode. There are three most commonly used averages in statistics. that first one, arithmetic mean, and second one, median, and third most important average or finding central tendency method is mode. Got it? There are three most important statistical measures to find out central tendency or average. What are that? First one, arithmetic mean, second one, median, and mode. Here, arithmetic mean will be denoted by x bar. Arithmetic mean will be denoted by x bar, and median will be denoted by x lambda. X lambda. Okay, and next, mode is denoted by x hat. X hat. Got it now? There are three most popular methods to find out average. In that first one, arithmetic mean, it is denoted by x bar, and median is denoted by x lambda, and third one, mode, is denoted by x hat. And now we'll start discuss about arithmetic mean in order to find central tendency or average with an arithmetic mean. Got it now? I hope all of you understood now the meaning of central tendency. Central tendency refers to finding the single value that describes or that going to be explains the characteristics or the features of entire or whole data of the statistics. And here there are three main popular methods. There are several statistical methods to find out the average, but in that most popular are three. What are that? Arithmetic mean, median, and mode. Now we are going to discuss about arithmetic mean, how to find out average under this method. Got it now? Here, arithmetic mean. First method to find out average or central tendency. Here, arithmetic mean is more simple method in order to calculate average or central tendency. The most simplest method to find out average means arithmetic mean. Here, arithmetic mean is nothing but sum means adding up all the values of the observation and dividing that sum by the number of items in the observations. That is nothing but arithmetic mean. Take a meaning. Arithmetic mean defined as sum of all the values in the observation, all the values of observation divided by number of items, or we can also call it as a observations. Here, arithmetic mean is defined as sum of all the values of an observation. Sum means is nothing but adding. Adding means totaling. Adding the values of all the observation and all the values of observation, and that sum we are going to be divided by number of items or observation in the data. Got it? This is what arithmetic mean, and we have a simple formula to find out the arithmetic mean, that is x bar is equal to sigma x by n. Sigma x means sum of the observation, sum of all the observation, and divided by n means number of items in the observation. This is what the simple formula to calculate the arithmetic mean. Here, before going to the calculation of arithmetic mean, first we need to know there are three methods in order to find out the arithmetic mean. There are three methods in order to find out the arithmetic mean for any data. What are the three methods means? A means arithmetic mean, or you can also denote by x bar. This is what arithmetic mean. There are three methods to find the arithmetic mean. What are the first one? Direct method. And second one is assume mean method, or you can also call it as a shortcut method. And third one is step deviation method. These are the three methods we use in order to find out the arithmetic mean. What are that? First one, direct method. Second one, assume mean method, or we can also call it as a shortcut method. And third one is step deviation method. We use these three methods in order to calculate single and other arithmetic mean. And before going to the discussion of arithmetic mean by using these three methods, first we need to know the types of data. I think all of you are well known about the data. Yes, data means nothing but set of informations. Here, first we need to know the types of data. Types of data arrangement. There are three sets of data arrangement in that: individual, series, second one discrete series, and third one continuous series. These are the three types of data arrangement in that: individual observation, or we can also call it as an individual series, discrete series, and continuous series. These are the three types. In that, individual observation is also called as ungrouped data. Individual observation we will also call it as an ungrouped data. But this two, discrete as well as continuous series, we can combinedly call it as a grouped data. Understood? The individual series or observation will be called it as a ungrouped data, but discrete series or continuous series will be called it as a grouped data. Okay, and here examples I will give for the individual observation. They will be having only the values, they won't be at frequencies. We will be having a set of values or observations. For example, marks of the students. Marks 30, 40, 48, 59, 74. This was individual series. Only the set of values or observations we will be having. Only the individual or the set of observations will be called it as a individual series. This is also called it as a ungrouped data. And next, for example, for the discrete series, here we will be having observations as well as the frequencies. Observations as well as the frequencies. For example, marks and number of students. Students. It means simply we can call it as a frequency. Marks 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Here 4 students got 30 marks and 7 students got 40 marks and 18 students got 50 marks and again 12 students got 60 marks and 8 students got 70 marks. Here we will be having two sets. One is observations and second one is frequency. This type of data will be called as a discrete series and it is combinedly called it as a group data. Group data or discrete series. In a group data there are two. One is discrete series, another one is continuous series. We will be having two sets. One is observations and another one is frequencies. Got it now? Here. Next, for example, continuous series. The continuous series means we will be having class intervals in the observation. Class interval means from 0 to 10 marks. Marks 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. Your frequency means number of students from 0 to 10. Okay, 5 students got 0 to 10, from 10 to 20, 12 students, and from 20 to 30, 15 students, and from 30 to 40, 25 students, and from 40 to 50, 22 students got the marks. This is what the examples for continuous series. Here we will be having, in the observation we will be having class intervals and frequencies. This is what continuous series, this is what discrete series, and here only we will be having observation. This is what individual series or observation. It is also called as ungrouped data. Understood, right? Your arithmetic mean means it's defined as sum of all the values of the observation and divided by the number of items in the observation. Next, there are three methods to find out the arithmetic mean: direct method, assume mean or shortcut method, and third one, step deviation method. And here, that before going to discussion of this methods of arithmetic mean, first we need to know the types of data. The data is classified into mainly two: grouped and ungrouped data and grouped data. Here the grouped data means individual series. Under grouped data there are discrete. Now next we are going to calculate arithmetic mean in a two category. Calculating arithmetic mean for ungrouped data, it means individual series, and calculation of arithmetic mean for grouped data. In a grouped data there are two: one is discrete series and another one is continuous series. Got it now? Next we are going to calculate arithmetic mean for ungrouped data. calculation of arithmetic mean for grouped data in that individual series is to come, right now? Now here, by going to the calculation of arithmetic mean, we already know that there are mainly three methods in order to calculate the arithmetic mean. One is direct method, second one shortcut or assume mean method, and third one step deviation method. Now we'll use all these three methods for the individual series data or ungrouped data. Take one example question now. The marks, example question 1. The marks of 10 students in the economics subject. Come on, find out or calculate the last anytime. Find out arithmetic mean for the following. Arithmetic mean for the data. This is what the question. The marks of 10 students in the economics subject, and find out the arithmetic mean for the data. Now they will give marks 80, 92, 69, 72, 84, 87, 89, 92, 97, 98, 99. This is what the question. Now, whatever the set of questions they will give, we need to ascend in a one particular schedule as an ascending order or in a descending order. But always for the calculations, we need to arrange the data in an ascending order only. Now we'll give as a x. Now I will give as a x. Now as already is in ascending order only. Now we will write down one by one. 69, 72, 84, 87, 89, 92, 97, 98 and 99. Okay. Now we need to arrange the data in a ascending order. If you want again, if you want to make it simple, you can also give serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, one more we write down. 90, 100, 99, 100. Now we have 10 values, and your 69, 72, 84, 87, 89, 92, 97, 98, 99, 100. This has 10 marks of 10 students in the economics subject. For this data, we need to find out arithmetic mean. And here, in order to find out arithmetic mean, now we use the first step, that is direct method. Okay, values here 69, 72, 84, 87, 89, 92, 97, 98, 99, 100. Okay, if you want, you can give serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here, first method we are using, that is direct method. It is a most simple method and it is used when the data or the observation are very small number. If it is 10 numbers or 10 values, or if it is 15 or 20, we can use the direct method. It is easy to calculate. But when the number of observations are more number, there is a large number of observations like 50, 100, 150, 200 observations or values are there, we will use next the step deviation or assume mean method. Okay, under the direct method there is a simple formula, that is x bar. Arithmetic mean will be denoted by x bar. You can write it as a AM, or we can write as a x bar is equal to sigma x by n. This is what the formula for the arithmetic mean under the direct method. Keep in your mind, in order to adopt the arithmetic mean under the direct method, the formula is x bar is equal to sigma x by n. Your sigma x denotes sum. Your sigma is nothing but sum or adding. Okay, your sum x, sigma x means sum total of observation, sum of all the observation. Sum of all the observation in the data is nothing but sigma x. Here n is nothing but number of items or observation. N means number of items or observations. Here number of items, how many? There are 10. 1, 2, 3. Already we have given serial numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It means n is nothing but 10. Number of items, how many? 10. And sigma x, if you want to find out, then we have to add, or we have to together we need to add all the observations in the x, that we will get sigma x. 69 plus 72, 72 plus 84, 84 plus 87, 87 plus 89, 92, 97, 99, 98, 99, 100. With this, all the values we should be add together. You can write it like this. Sigma x means 69 plus 72 plus 84 plus 87 plus 89 plus 92 plus 97, 98, 99 plus 100 divided by 10. If you want to write, we can write like this, or we can add directly here. We can add directly here. For how much we will get? By adding all this, we will get 887. Now we got sigma x. By adding all these values, we got. Okay, if you want, you can write this step, or else you can skip the step. Directly we can apply to the formula. Formula is sigma x by n. By adding all the x values, we will get sigma x, and n means number observations or items. Number of observations are 10, and adding up all the observations, sum of the observation is 887. Now we apply to the formula. X bar is equal to 887 sigma x. 887. N refers number of items 10. 887 divided by 10, we will get 8. We will get 88.7. 88.7. This is what the average marks of a students in the economics subject. Got it now? Now we got a single figure to describe the whole or entire data. This is what arithmetic means. Arithmetic means or average means finding a single value in order to describe the entire data. This is under the direct method. Direct method formula is sigma x by n. Sigma x means sum of the all observations and n means number of items. When we divide sum of the observation divided by number of items, we will get arithmetic mean or average. Got it now? Next, we are going to discuss the unknown method to find out the arithmetic mean. What is that? Assume mean method or shortcut method. Assume mean method. Assume mean method, or we can also call it as a shortcut method. Under this, the formula is x bar is equal to a plus sigma d by n. Here, under the assume mean method or a shortcut method is this method is most useful when the observation number of observation is more or large. When the observations like 100, 150, 200 number of observation are there, then it is difficult to calculate with the help of direct method. In that condition, the assume mean method is most useful when the observation is large or more number. Got it? And under this method, the formula is a plus sigma d by n. Here, on the basis of logic or experience, firstly we need to find out assume mean, not the actual arithmetic mean. We need to assume any one value or one observation as a assume mean based on the logic or experience. Firstly, we need to take any one value as a assume mean. Most of all, we need to take assume mean any central values of the data. Any central values here we have 10, right? Whether we can take fifth number or a sixth number as a assume mean, it's more frequent. How we will take assume mean means based on logic or experience. I will teach you one logic how to take a assume mean in order to find out arithmetic mean under this method. Assume mean we used to take the central values as a assume mean. Okay, already we have arranged in ascending or descending order, right? In ascending or in a descending order, the central value, if there are 7 numbers, take a fourth number as a central value. There are 5 numbers, take a third number as a central value. But here we have a 10, whether we have a 2 choice, whether fifth number or sixth number we can take as a assume mean. Now the assume mean we have decided. What is the assume mean? 89. Here we have already decided assume mean is 89. By taking this assume mean, we need to find out the deviations. Here deviations is nothing but d. Deviation we are denoting with the d. D is nothing but x minus a. deviations. Deviation is nothing but x minus a. X means observations, a means assumed mean. Observations we should be, assumed mean we should be subtract from the observations. Assumed mean we need to subtract from the observations, then we will get d. And by adding all the d values, we will get sigma d. Understood, right? Now we'll find out the deviation now. Here, deviation is nothing but x minus a. Assuming we have here, assuming we have taken as a 89. Keep in your mind or write down in any one particular place. A is equal to 87. On the basis of logic or experience, we will take assuming. The logic is take a central value of the data. It is easy to compute the assumed mean, actual mean by this method. Now we are finding the deviation of 69. X minus a. A is 87. 69 minus 87. How much we will get? 69 minus 80. 69 minus 89 we will get 69 minus 89 means we will get minus 20. Observe here. We have minus value is the highest value. Then minus 89 in the 69 subtract we want to do minus 20 right now. Minus 20 and 72 minus 89 we will get minus 17. Next 84 minus 89 will get minus 5. Next minus 89 equals to minus 2. Here 89 minus 89 is equal to 0. And 92 minus 89 will, now the plus value is the highest value. From that plus 92 we are going to subtracting the 89. Then whatever the values we get, that will be plus only. Plus 3, then 97 minus 89 we get plus 8. 98 minus 89 will get plus 9. 99 minus 89 will get plus 10. 100 minus 89 will get plus 11. Now, by adding all this deviation, the sum of all this deviation value, we will get sigma d. Now, you got it? Sigma d is nothing but sum of all the deviation values. But how we will get this deviation value? X minus a. By doing the x minus a. Here x means observations, a means assumed mean. How we get assumed mean? Assumed mean we will get by logic or the experience. The logic we are used that the exact central value we have taken as a assumed mean. What is that? 89, 92 will come as a central value, but we have taken 89. Then we have to subtract this observations from an assumed mean. Then we will get the deviations. By summing of all the deviations, we will get sigma d. Sum of all the deviations is nothing but sigma d. Now we will do the sigma. Now we will find out the sigma d first. The plus values we have one side. We will get all the minus value. We will be going to add, right? Minus 20, minus 17, minus 5, minus 2. We will get minus 44 and all the plus value we will get 11 plus 10 plus 9 plus 4, 8 plus 3, 41. Minus 44 plus 41 we will get minus 3. Yes, the sigma d is minus 3. Now we we have find it number of items already we know that 10. Assume mean we know that A we know that assume mean. Write down A is nothing but assume mean. Sigma D is nothing but sum of the deviations, and N is nothing but same number of items. Here how we will get D? Deviation formula is x minus a. Find out this basics of this formula. Now we will apply this to the formula. We have find it minus 3 as a sigma D. X bar is equal to A is how much? 89. Then what is the sigma D value? Minus 3. Minus 3. Because of here we are going to get minus 3, take a bracket, and N is number of items 10. X bar is equal to 89. Before going to doing that, plus minus 3 divided by 10, we will get minus 3 divided by 10, we will get 0.3. Here x bar is equal to 89 plus into minus we will get always minus only, right? Then 0.3. 89 minus 0.3 is 88.7 we get. What is the same answer we obtained by direct method as well as assuming method. But steps are going to be little bit different. There sum of all the observation divided by n, we will get the answer or arithmetic mean in a direct method. But in assume mean method, we will take any one value as a assume mean and we will find out the deviations, and sum of all the deviations divided by n if we do, we will get assume mean method arithmetic mean. Got it now? 88.7 will be the answer. Then next we are going to find out the arithmetic mean for the same data by using shortcut method. Just write down in your notebook. All of you understood, I hope. Next we are going to find out arithmetic mean with step deviation method. Under the step deviation method, the formula is x bar is equal to a plus sigma d dash or d dot by n into c. D dot by n into c. This step deviation method we will discuss in next class. Okay? And I hope all of you understood how to find out arithmetic mean for the individual observation on ungrouped data with the help of direct method and assume mean method. And next class I am going to teach how to find out arithmetic mean for the ungrouped data by the step deviation method. Got it? Thank you all of you.